Today, my guest is Jessica Zwiep. Jessica is the founder of Spell Fitness, a faith-based coaching community that helps women build sustainable habits around fitness, nutrition, prayer, accountability, and real-life wellness. She brings a strong background to her coaching as a licensed practical nurse, ACE certified personal trainer, and she has various nutrition certifications. But what makes Jessica so compelling is that she doesn't lead with quick fixes. She leads with grace, consistency, and faith. Jessica has been married to her husband Brian for 19 years. She's a mom of 4, one to soon be 18 years old, and then 14, 13, and 9. She enjoys reading, walking, cooking, traveling, and spending time with her family. Jessica, welcome to the Delay to Decay podcast, and thank you for being my guest.
Well, thank you. That made me sound so important.
You are important, just as in so many ways. And I am so excited to have you on. I really am. I feel like I've walked closely with you and your husband for a few years. I know your story. I know your influence, your ministry. Gosh, I'm gonna start crying. Jeez.
Oh, good, because I have tissues too. Let's go.
Oh
Okay.
my goodness! Like that doesn't happen very often this soon. But yeah, I'm just
Wow.
excited to have you. So, hey, we're going to start off right here. What's one habit or discipline that you have been trying to incorporate into your life lately to keep you moving up and to the right?
Okay. So it's not necessarily an action. First of all, thank you for having me on the podcast.
Of
I feel so
course.
honored to get and sit and talk with you. I
Thank you.
love you and Nancy, and just I feel like, I don't know, this is just like such a special little gift. So I'm excited to do this.
Thanks, Jessica.
I think lately the Lord has really been just working on me. Goodness, I'm going to cry too. Pride. I feel like I struggle and wrestle a lot with comparison and like, what is my, and maybe it's just the season of life, like you mentioned. My oldest is graduating. And it's so sweet, and he's amazing, and I'm so proud of him. But just the adjustment of what is my role. And so really like looking in the mirror and seeing myself for who I am, I think has been the habit lately. I think it's really easy for us as busy moms, as busy wives, as we're working, we're graduating kids and launching them out into the world, to see everyone else. And the Lord has really been revealing to me, and it's been a little messy and a little hard. But like areas where I need to die to myself. So I think that's kind of been the habit lately, is confessing, just like confessing and repenting and being honest with yourself and your spouse in, this is something that's hard for me, or this is a way that I'm struggling. And I think just our flesh doesn't like that. We don't want to admit that we're messing up or that we are stuck in a loop that's not honoring to the Lord.
Yes.
So that has probably been the habit for me lately, is like you said, I have a story. It's an intense story. And I feel like the last couple of years, everything's calmed down. Like I'm not running on survival and get people through these horrific, traumatic experiences. And now it's like, look in the mirror. Who are you? What do you need to work on? So that's been my habit, is looking in the mirror.
Gosh,
and it's ironic that the Lord put me right in front of the mirror today to talk. So I'm just looking in it all the time. Like, you need to stop that. You need to live up to that. That's who I made you to be. You are that person, or you're not her. You're not this girl. So stop trying to be somebody that you're not. Be who I made you to be, and walk that way. So that's been, because I've always struggled with, I know, and I feel like it sounds weird to say, because people look at me and they're like, no, like, stop it, knock it off. But I've always struggled with confidence, with feeling like I'm pretty enough, strong enough, successful enough, smart enough. And so just like believing that I am the girl for the job. I am the
Yeah.
mom to my kids. I am the wife to my husband. I am the
Mhm.
coach for the special little select ladies that he draws to my little corner of the internet. Like,
Yeah.
and also, I'm not that person, so I don't need to try and be her.
Jessica, there's so much I appreciate about you, and I have no doubt, God is always doing more than one thing at a time, and I have no doubt that your story as we go through it today is going to it's going to re-bless me. If that's a word, bless me again, and it's going to bless the audience, and I think it's going to be helpful to you as well. One of the things I really appreciate about you is that you are authentic, and you're vulnerable. I don't. I am on Instagram and Facebook, so every once in a while I'll stumble across one of your posts, even though they're not for me. And what I see is vulnerability. What I see is someone in process. And the reality is, we're all in process. And there are different seasons of life. There's hard seasons. There's easier, less hard seasons. And I love it that you are happy and sad that your son has turned 18. And I think for any parents that are listening, that if you have the posture that you just can't wait to get your kid graduated and out of the house, I would suggest that maybe you need to be reflective and maybe you need to repent a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we should be happy for our kids as they launch, and there should be profound sadness when they launch. And so it's that dichotomy of feelings, isn't it? And
Yes. Bittersweet is the perfect word. I feel
bittersweet.
like
That's
it's,
so
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So thanks for that. Thanks for reminding us of that. And yeah, just grateful. Well, let's talk about your story a little bit. You're the owner of Spell Fitness, Spell. We'll talk in a minute about what Spell stands for. It's an acronym. You've got more certifications than I have fingers on my hands.
Got a little carried away there for a while.
You did, but it's and I imagine that has something to do with that confidence factor that sometimes we need certifications and degrees just because we want people to know that we're
Legit.
certified. And you would, my guess is you would be the same great coach with or without the certifications, but you have them, and I love it. It's inspiring to me because I think I've got like I don't know, I've got like a sixth grade diploma somewhere that
Hmm.
that is helpful to me. But I'm gonna start with this question that I was going to say for later, but I think it's really important. That is, your life has been marked with great joy, with 19 years of marriage, four blessings, some really close friends, a ministry that gives other people life and it gives you life because it's really you're just living out who Jessica is, and at the same time you've been shaped by trials, and you don't have to talk about those trials. You're more than welcome to whatever you feel like is best. But my question is, how have the trials of life shaped who you are, shaped your ministry, and shaped your outlook on life? How have the trials of life shaped you and your ministry?
I think, and it's funny that these are the questions. It's not funny because although I do think God has a sense of humor, but funny is the best word I can come up with.
Mm,
I think lately he has just really revealed to me in so many ways that he wastes nothing.
hmm
And while in so many of the things that we've been through, so just brief overview, we got married quite young. Not, I mean, I don't know. I feel like today it feels young, but then it didn't seem young. I was 21, Brian was 24, and got pregnant right away. His job moved us across the country with our little 18-month-old at the time for a big construction project. Shortly, and I was pregnant with our second at that time. We moved out here in April of 2010, and in August of 2010, I was 20, almost 28 weeks pregnant and had stopped feeling the baby move. So I called my doctor, went in. The precious medical assistant couldn't find a heartbeat. And we went in to do an ultrasound. And I just remember laying there thinking, they just need to turn something on. Like the screen is still, she just needs to push the power button. And the doctor came in and put her hand on my shoulder and said, I'm so sorry. Your baby has died. And that was the most traumatic thing I think there are other significant traumatic things, but it just opened this whole season of grief and fear. And if that can happen, anything can happen. I forgot to mention before that no, it wasn't before that. No. Anyways, somewhere in there, I'm like so overwhelmed with the timeline. So we had lost a baby. Then my husband needed to have kind of emergency heart surgery. That was quite intense, the recovery, all of that. He ended up, the company we moved out here with ended up going under. He started over, started his own company, had to have another heart surgery. Somewhere in between the starting of the company and the second heart surgery, he was in a pretty significant car accident that rocked our world again. And so I feel like there were so many things where I was like, what is the actual point of this?
Yeah.
Like,
right.
I'm just getting slammed every 2 years with like, not little, like, oh, my car got totaled, but like devastating, life-changing loss. And so there was a long time where I was just like surviving. So there were so many things where I was just like, this is pointless. Like, there is no reason. There's nothing good that's coming out of the fact that I had to sit in a funeral home and pick out a tiny little casket. There's no point in the fact that I had to sit in a hospital room with my husband, who was completely intubated and unconscious, and wonder, when do I get my person back? Do I get him back? Is he going to be the same? Like, such devastating loneliness and just like fear. And it's come like such a full circle now, because I feel like I am in a unique position to be able to, and again, this is that pride piece. Like, I don't want to be puffed up with like, my story's more sad than your story, but it's really friggin' sad. And there was a lot of really hard, messy things. And I feel like it almost gives me, like I was talking about the confidence, it gives me in a weird, really tragic way, like some credibility to be able to speak to people who are going through hard things. And this is maybe a little segue, but there was a woman who was at our school who they went in for an ultrasound and found out that the baby had a condition that was not compatible with life. And people who knew my story were like, you need to go talk to her. And it's like, well, mine wasn't exactly the same, but also like, there's a really good chance you're going to be in this little club of moms who've buried babies here in a little while. And I just remember the look on her face and praying with her and crying with her, and her looking at me like, you see me the way that nobody else can see me. Everybody else just looks at me and is so sad and wants to say these platitude things, but you can say things because you've done it. And I went actually this past Saturday. So at the time of this recording, Mother's Day was just this past week. And she was just on my heart. And I was like, this is going to be such a crappy Mother's Day, you know? So I got her a little gift and brought her a meal. And I don't know as I've ever held someone, like hugged them and have them cry the way that woman did with me. And she was just like, is it going to get better? Am I going to make it? Is it ever going to stop hurting like this? Like, and then just questions that like, I don't want to distract your readers with, but like, is it normal for my body to do this afterwards? Did they do this for you in the hospital? All these things. And it's like, the Lord was just like, you're the only one who can answer those questions for her. Her mom, her friend, her neighbor, anyone can just say nice, comforting, well-meaning, heartfelt things, but you are the only one who has walked through that. specifically, and you can say to her with confidence,
mm,
yes, it does get better. Yes, you will have more babies.
mm,
Yes, the pain doesn't suffocate you your whole life. Like it
mm,
does take your breath away sometimes, but you will be able to sleep
mm.
and stop crying and be okay. And it was just like
Wow.
this light almost of like, I mean, not that I want to be famous, but it was like a little spotlight. Like you're the only, you're not the star, but like you're the girl for the role.
Yeah.
You're the one that can say the things.
Mm,
Um, and I
mm,
can't speak to everybody's heartache, but I can speak really well to that one. And it was like the Lord just was, you know, kind in I
hmm.
didn't waste it.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
didn't
waste
waste it.
that,
No, I love it.
you know?
What comes to mind, Jessica, is the scripture. I think it's in 2 Corinthians chapter 1. It says that the God of all comfort comforts us in our affliction so that we might be able to comfort others in every affliction. And there's something about being comforted by somebody
Yep.
that relates with us in a like a very real way. And you're stepping into that. What did you were you ever like mad at God or done with God, or what was your view towards
Um,
God? I can't imagine.
I feel like I grew up in a Christian home,
Hmm.
knew all the Sunday school stories, went to Christian school. I feel like I don't, I sometimes get a little like, I feel a little like phony in that I don't have like some big Damascus road, like the Lord saved me from my wretched life and turned me around when I hit rock bottom. It was like I just coasted and rode the Christian lazy river for a long time. And I feel like that was like a whitewater rapid experience. And I feel
Mm,
like I had a choice to either like bail and just be done or hold on for dear life and ride this out.
mm,
And I remember, gosh, this was not where I thought this was going to go. Um, I remember being so desperate for God in those times, like in a way that I'd never been before.
mm,
Like, this is going to kill me if I
mm,
don't
mm,
figure it out. Um, and so I don't know if I believe in like booming voices from heaven, but there were so many times where I was like so dark. It was so dark. And
mm,
I just remember like hearing this isn't it. This isn't going to be what does you in.
mm,
And it wasn't like, oh, I just got up and everything was transformed, but
mhm,
he pulled me through. And then looking back, there were just so many things where it's like, you could just see. I mean, even our baby's name, like we had names picked out, and this was the
mm,
only one we didn't find out the gender of.
mm,
And the girl name was like Lacey or something, which was just cute.
mm,
And then our boy name was Dominic,
mm,
and the name means belongs to the Lord. And
mm,
I just remember thinking, like, you knew he was yours from the beginning. You
mm.
had that planned out from beforehand. And I'm
So
so
cool.
mad at you for it, but also he's yours.
Mm,
Um, so, anyways,
yeah,
yeah.
I love it.
Um,
I love it, Jessica. Yeah, I am so, yeah, we'll only know when we're in the presence of God, like why he seems to afflict others more than he afflicts some. And you've had plenty of affliction, and I know that you are such a strong testimony to people that are suffering. Not everybody loses a child. Not everybody's husband has heart surgery. But everyone, Jesus said, in this world there will be trouble. But take heart, I've overcome the world. And I love it that you are public with your suffering, and you're public with your proclamation that somehow God is still good, even in the midst of loss. And so thank you for that reminder today. And thank you for living out being a comfort to others, the way the Lord has comforted you. Now, I'm curious, with all of this going on, when did you decide to start Spell Fitness? Like, what was going on in your life when you said, I'm going to start a coaching business?
So again, I think the Lord has a funny sense of humor. I was a stay-at-home mom. I had at the time 3 kids, and my sister-in-law was actually looking to become a group fitness instructor. And
Okay.
she had found the like an ACE group fitness instructor certification, and she was like, I would love a study buddy. And I was like, well, I'm never going to go do group stuff, but I'll do the personal training one while you do the group one, and we can like talk about anatomy, biology, or whatever. And I started it and I was like, this is so fun. Like
Mm.
and to be like honest, it's again, I just feel like my whole spell journey is the Lord, like not punking me, but a little bit. Like I was never an athlete. I don't consider myself athletic at all. Like do not pick me for your kickball team, softball team. Your girl can't jump. I'm not. Mm-mm. But I'm fit. I'm
Mm-hmm.
relatively strong. And but I was never like into sports or anything like that growing up. Didn't really work out. I mean, a little bit after each kid, you're going to get your body back or whatever. So I think I bought some like Zumba tapes and an elliptical machine and thought I was doing fine. A couple juice cleanses here and there. But I really was like, this is so interesting, like the behavior change and the nutrition part and all of that. And then I just started like posting, smoothie recipes or something on Instagram, or I did this workout and there were just people on like that I knew from high school who were like, could you help me work out at home? And I was like, oh, like this is a thing people pay for or like want other people to do for them. Like you don't just look that up on YouTube. Okay. And around that same time, we had moved from Michigan to Colorado with a company, and Brian had a very like it was a demanding, lucrative, high everything career. And that all ended up stopping kind of abruptly.
Mm.
No fault of his own, just,
Mm-hmm.
just throwing that up. It was other outside forces. And so we were kind of like, oh crap, we need to start over.
Mm.
And I never wanted to be someone who had other people taking care of my kids. And it didn't seem financially, we didn't have family out here. So it was like, I can't go put them somewhere and go get a job.
Mm-hmm.
What can I do at home while he looks for something and we kind of try to get back on track?
Mm-hmm.
And God was, I don't know, it was just kind of like people will pay you for workouts. Like they'll pay you to help them get in shape.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I have no idea how much to charge people. I don't know how to upload a video. I don't know how, like, if you go back and look at my first videos, you'll be like, oh dear, bless your heart. The angles, the outfits, the audio, it was rough.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so funny, and not, again, funny is probably not the right word, but just precious, I guess, to see how he took me from that place to where I am now. And that it's women, because I have always, like, there was a long period of time where I struggled. I was never the popular girl in school. I always joke with Brian, like, he's very popular, he's very good looking, he's very charismatic, he's all these things. I was like, if we went to the same high school, you and your friends would have made fun of me. Like, you would have picked
No.
on me. And he's like, no, no. I'm like, well, it's okay. We'll never know. But just not that girl in high school. And then even like late teens, early 20s, I just had like a lot of women who were very cruel to me. And I remember being like really afraid of powerful women, like intimidated by them. I don't want to be around them. I feel like I'm not up to their level. I shouldn't, like, I don't add anything to that scene. So I'm just going to sit back with my kids and watch everybody else be cool. And so it was really scary to have women who I viewed as being quite like popular or powerful or, that's who I want to be, coming to me and saying, will you help me? And so it was like an act of trust and like almost overcoming a fear of like, is this like a joke? Like, are they hiring me so they can like make fun of me?
Oh.
Like, are they going to use it against me kind of thing? Because I've had that, like I've had women who have like used my stuff as a joke or whatever. And there was a lot of like hurt there and fear of who's gonna see this, who's gonna talk about it, who's gonna whatever. Like, am I getting too big for my britches? I'm not actually that person. So that like imposter syndrome really
Right.
kicked in big time with, you're not actually good enough for this. Like everybody's laughing at you. You're not
Mm.
real.
Mm-hmm.
But I just kept going,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really, it is, spell has been a faith growing journey for me as much as it has been like a financial blessing to my family, and the blessing, like I think that I've helped, I mean, I don't even know. I'd have to go back and see how many women over the years. Probably close to 1,000 over the
Wow.
last 12 years.
Wow.
Um,
That's
and
great.
they come and go,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a monthly thing. And so every month I feel like I get to like the 28th of the month, and I'm like, they're all going to leave. They're all going to break up with me. Like they all found somebody way cooler with way better videos and like better music. And she's got props, and it's like a timer on the bottom of the screen. Like, shh, they're going to leave. This is it. And then every month the Venmos roll in, and people are like, whatever you said in that video on Thursday was exactly what I needed to hear.
Mm-hmm.
I shared it with my friend and she needed to hear it. Or I'll have people who will have followed me for years on social media out of the blue. I've been following you for 6 years. I can't, I think it's the time for me to join. And then it's like, again, that little light kind of thing with the Lord where he's like, I see you and I'm using you, and it's not big and flashy, but you're just keep doing the things that I'm telling you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Do the things that I'm telling you to do. And it
Yeah.
just feels so like, it's such a weird tension for me because I feel there's so much on social media,
Mm-hmm.
of, build this, sign up for this coaching program and you can earn $600,000 a month. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that sounds great. Like,
It
sign
sounds
me
great.
up. And then
Yeah.
I get into it and I'm like, everything about this feels icky. Like, I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
charge people that much money because I know
Mm-hmm.
what it's like to have no money and feel like
Mm-hmm.
I still want to take care of myself, but I can't afford $500 a month for this 6 week program. So I guess I'll
Mm-hmm.
just wait and feel miserable for a while. And so it's just always been like a like a tense thing for me where it's like I probably could, I don't like, I hate the word should. I had one client at one point who was like a therapist, and she was like, you need to stop shoulding all over yourself. And I was like,
Exactly.
oh,
That's good.
probably do.
Yes, right.
So I
Yeah.
probably should charge 2, 3, 4 times what I do a month because I know other people do. And I know that
Mm-hmm.
there are people who will pay that. But I also know for me, having been in a position where it's like, we can't afford that. Like we don't have the money to do that right now. And
Mm-hmm.
I never wanted the money to be something that helped, that kept, especially a mom of kids who's just like, you just get into this headspace of who am I and do I ever get myself back and what does that look like? And there's so much information and how do I sort it all out? Like I never wanted it to be like, but I can't afford to actually know.
Mm-hmm.
I can't afford to know. I can't afford to experience any of that. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's not like, I know your domains are like, one of them's financial. I am not the girl to talk about financial things because I am not good with that. If I could do it for free, I probably would, but I feel like people take it more seriously when they have a little skin in the game. So I make them put a tiny bit of skin in.
100%. Yeah, I think what you said about that imposter syndrome, when God puts something on our heart to step out into something that's uncomfortable, but it's something that's clear the Lord wants us to do, we're going to have initially that imposter syndrome, and we just gotta walk through it and know that God put us there, and He will give us everything we need. And I know you've experienced that. That you've even though you every day you do it, you probably have a little bit of nervous, but you're way more confident today,
Oh, yeah.
right?
And it's funny that you say that because I was just talking about that, not that specifically, but the concept of the things the Lord puts on our heart with someone today and this
Mm,
past week, like bringing over that meal to that mom. I don't know this woman at all. Like I
mm,
literally have laid eyes on her 2 times in my whole life. And I just couldn't shake it. I feel like the Lord was like, get out of my way. Like you are the person I need to go talk to her. Get the soup out of your freezer, buy a loaf of bread, and drive over to her house. And I remember just being like, I'm so busy. Like, we're graduating Abram. Like, I have all these things going on. And it was just like this, ugh, like I couldn't get rid of it. And then walking up to her front door and having her come out and just being like, you, like, duh, why didn't I do this the whole time?
Mm-hmm.
And just little things along the way where it's like, I was at, this is a weird one too. I was at getting dry needled, and the dry needling chiropractor doctor was just talking about something that he has coming up that he's nervous about, and he's like excited but whatever, and he's kind of like struggling with it. And I'm laying like face down on the like chiropractic table with all these needles in my back, and the Lord is like literally giving me the words to say, like, you need to pray this prayer for this guy. And I'm like, that is so weird, that is so awkward, like I'm not going to pray for this other guy in this room on this bed with this pulsing electrodes in my back. Like, no, that's weird. And then I leave and I'm just like, I cannot shake the thing that I'm like, he needs encouragement from me. And he has shared with you visit after visit after visit that he's the imposter thing and the nervous. And he feels like, is this going to go okay? Stop it. Say it. So I ended up texting. I almost turned around, but I was like, that's real weird. Like, now he has another patient. I can't be like, hi, I just want to pray for you.
Right.
But I texted this whole thing and was just like, I'm sorry I didn't do this in person, but I know you're worried about this. And I just pray that like traveling goes well and that like you have something to say and people are going to be blessed by it. Like, I hope it goes well. And he was like, that was so kind. Like, thank you so much. I needed that. And I was like, okay, like, I hope that wasn't weird and like inappropriate or something. But,
Well,
so I just,
yeah, the Lord put it in your heart.
yeah. And there's
It
like I got a book one time called The 10-Second Rule, and I never read it, but like the premise was that, like, you drop a piece of food on the floor, you have 10 seconds before you shouldn't pick it up. God put something on your heart or mind, you have 10 seconds to act on it. And I definitely waited way more than 10 seconds on those two interactions. But I've just been trying to be better about like that still small voice, like, do it, say it, pray it, write it, send it,
that's
post
right.
it, do
Yeah,
it.
I
And
love it.
instead of being like, well, it's going to be weird or it's going to be awkward or what if they're busy? Like, every time that I've acted on obediently, it has returned to me with like, I don't a blessing, but just it's gone well. So I would
Absolutely.
strongly suggest the 10-second rule. Do that.
That's
Or 10 days, whatever. Just do it.
that's so good, Jessica. This won't be a surprise to you, but something we talk about a lot on this podcast is direction, not perfection.
I love that.
And the direction is the Lord's direction. It's that obedience piece. When God puts something on our heart, or He's made us a certain way, we go in that direction. And it's not about perfection. If we go like, well, when's the exact right time to do this, and what if somebody doesn't respond well to my loving them or praying for them or whatever? Well, if we get caught in perfection, like, we're never going to take that next step in the right direction, right? And that's really what you're talking about. So thanks for encouraging us with that. Your coaching is very different from the typical quick fix fitness world. I think about, I've seen it so many times, whether it be, that I have a 40-day challenge that I do 5 times a year, but my heart in that is not that people just do something for 40 days, check the box, and go back to their old habits, but that it's a launching pad for a lifetime of better disciplines and habits. I've known a lot of people who've done 75 hard, and they complete it, and then they completely fall off the wagon. They didn't drink the alcohol. They read whatever the
Books, the walk, the inside workout, the note. Yeah, it's a whole
yeah
thing. There's a
yeah
lot of boxes to check.
there is, and I do it for 75 days. It's like, whew, I did that. I guess I'm not going to do anything the
Let's
next.
go get a burger and a beer. Yeah,
That's right,
I
and
made it.
never read again. How did you develop a philosophy built around sustainability, grace, and long-term habits rather than dramatic, top of the mountain, short-term results?
Social media and just the whole like highlight reel of everyone's life. I feel like moms and wives and women are looking and thinking, I could never do that. I could
Mm,
never have my house look like that. I can never dress like that. I could never make that dinner or drive that car or have that beautiful garden or whatever. Like, there's so much pressure and we just get paralyzed
mm,
by, I don't even know where to start because I'm so far behind. And so
mm,
I just try to encourage them so much. Like, what can you do today?
Mm.
Like, you may not be able to hit your macros perfectly, drink 120 ounces of water, do all the things, get 9 hours of sleep. You have a newborn, you're traveling, your husband's out of town, your kid has soccer in 3 towns over. Like, what can you do? Can you fill up your water bottles today? Can you
Mm.
go for a walk? Like, manage the manageable. There's more that you can do than you cannot. And unfortunately, I talk to women all the time, and I feel, I feel like this makes me sound kind of mean, but I'm like, I am the busiest person I know. Not to toot my own horn, but I'm really
Mm.
freaking busy. I'm up early. I have kids all
Mhm.
over the place doing all over the things. My husband is very successful and has his, big important thing company that he's running, and he's got a lot going on. And I have a full-time job at my kids' school. I don't have anyone cleaning my house, or I don't have a meal delivery service. Like, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm driving, I'm working, I'm doing the things. So if I can do all of that relatively well, those of you who have significantly less on your plates, what is it that's getting you so hung up? Is it
Mm.
scrolling on your phone? Is it this feeling of like, I don't even know where to start?
Mm.
Are you just, I mean, not to sound mean, but are you just lazy? Like, you
Mm.
just don't. And so there's people have a lot of feelings about that, but I really like to push a little bit at, don't let comfort and motivation be the things that drive you, because you
Mm.
will never be able to stick to something if you're
Mm.
waiting to feel like it. I had someone
Mm.
just a couple months ago say to me, like, she was like, I'm not going to do spell anymore. And I said, well, how come? Like, what's going on? And it was like, I just can't get motivated. And
Mm.
it's hard because I'm
Mm.
not with them in person. Like, I can't be like, I'll meet you at the gym at 5 a.m. Like, you have to do this a little bit more on your own.
Mm.
I'm not holding your hand. I'm not dropping off dinner. Like, you have to do it. But there's just this level of like, I need to feel like it. I need to
Mm.
feel like I want to eat better. I need to feel like I want to get up. I need to feel like I want to go to bed early, or I want to work out. And I there's been several certifications that have involved like behavior coaching, and one of them, the question that
Mhm.
they just coin is, how's that working for you? Like, and put it
Mm.
back on people. Like, how is it working for you to
Mhm.
wait? How is it working for you to
Mm.
not like to be sore, or not like to get
Mm.
up early? Like, if you play this out for
Mm.
the next 5, 10, 15 years,
Mhm.
where are we at?
That's a great question. Really
And a
good.
lot of people are
Yeah.
like, ooh. So I'm like, it doesn't have to be this drastic 75 hard overhaul. But if you
No.
started getting up 30 minutes earlier, you could work out before your kids got up. Oh,
Yeah.
I've never
That's
been a morning person. How's that working for you?
that's good. Yeah. It's an interesting conversation how I'm not motivated and discipline fit in. That's where discipline comes in. Is that
Yep.
our motivation
Motivation is so
comes
fleeting.
so fleeting. I
Yes.
found in my coaching, Jessica, that I need to help my people find their why. Like,
Mhm.
what's your why? And what do you envision life looking like 5 years from now, 10 years from now?
But also for me, I'm like, just start. The
Mm.
motivation comes. Like, when you just start, whether you feel like it or not, you
Mm.
start to build this self-trust. Like, you look
That's
back
good.
over your week and you're like, I did that. Like, I don't like to get up early in the morning, but I did
Hmm.
4 times in a row. I could probably do it again next week. Or I don't like to eat salad, but I did. And I didn't have that 2, 3 o'clock crash from eating Chick-fil-A or Wendy's or whatever in the middle of the day. Like, I actually had energy to get through like
Love
dinner
it.
and all of the sports practices, and I could probably do it again. Like, it actually wasn't that gross. It actually wasn't that hard. It was a lot cheaper to bring my own lunch to school than it was to go out with my friends every day. So I think I just try to encourage people, like, what you've been doing before hasn't worked. You've
Mm.
come here for a reason. Like, something brought you to spell, in my case, and made you hit pay. You sent me all your stuff. You said what you wanted to do.
Mm.
So you have to start doing something different than what you were doing before.
Mm.
If we just keep mulling over and waiting for something to light a fire, we're never going to get anywhere. You have to start. Just start. And it's not going to be perfect. You're going to miss some days. You're going to, have the best laid plans for meal plans. And then your
So good.
husband's going to come home and be like, I brought pizza. And you're going to be like, I had chicken grilled. But you're going to eat the pizza because you're a nice wife and your
Yes.
kids love you and you want them to see balance. So you're
Mm.
going to have the pizza and you're going to save the chicken for tomorrow. and you're going to do it again. And every day gets a little better and a little easier and a little bit more like building up that self trust. And I just think we rely so much on outside input
Mm-hmm.
to say whether or not we're doing a good job. And I feel like this is me totally like not, I mean, I struggle because I want that validation so much,
Mm-hmm.
oh, well, I do just as many workouts as Sally over here on the internet. But it's like I did as many workouts as I could do. And they looked like how I needed them to look. And they're working for me. And I feel strong and my clothes fit and I have energy. And so
Mm-hmm.
I can do this my way and it works. And I don't have to worry about, you know, someone going to the CrossFit games. Like that's great for them, but
Mm-hmm.
that's not for me right now.
Amen.
So
Yeah, I love it right now. Last question for you is: there's women listening, and
mhm.
some of them are discouraged. They're out of shape. They're spiritually dry. They're stuck in the cycle of starting and stopping. What would you tell them about the next faithful step?
Well, I mean, the most faithful step would be to join Spell Fitness, but the next one after that would probably be to just, I'm just kidding, would be to just start. Just
Yeah.
start. Pick
Mm,
one healthy thing that you feel like right now you could do every day. And
mm,
I think if you tell yourself, I'm going to do this for the next 5 days, like I've done little challenges where it's like, drink a smoothie every day. Make sure
mm,
it has at least 25 grams of protein in it. But if you start just adding that in, don't think about taking all these things away from yourself, right? You're not cutting out sugar and cutting out carbs and cutting out alcohol and cutting out TV and cutting out whatever. Like, add in something good.
mm.
Give yourself something good. You deserve to have something good.
That's good.
Actually, I don't like the word deserve at all. So scratch that, edit that out. Your
Yeah,
body needs something good. I really don't like the word deserve. I feel like we could go down that rabbit hole
that's
forever.
for
But
another podcast.
yes. But then notice how
Mm,
much better you feel. Like you're
mm,
not craving the latte or the donut or the bagel an hour later because your body got what it needed. Or
mhm,
try waking up and working out or getting a workout in during nap time instead of sitting and reading your book.
mm,
Like notice how much more energy you have or how much clearer your mind feels. Or
mm,
try going to bed, 30 minutes earlier and just giving yourself that little bit of extra sleep. Or
mhm,
even little things like switching from full sugar, and I know people have feelings about diet soda, but I have feelings about them too, that is a really easy swap for most people to make that can save them hundreds if not thousands of calories every week.
mm,
That is very negligible in the health space. Like you're going
mm,
to find people who are going to say aspartame will kill you tomorrow. You're going to find other people who are going to say you're going to have to eat a bus
mm,
load of Diet Coke, drink a bus load to see any sort of negative things. But
mm,
the health impacts of high sugar drinks are killing people right now.
mhm,
Like
mm,
we are drinking so many calories and wondering why we feel like crap.
mhm,
So
mhm,
have a diet Dr. Pepper, have a
mm,
sugar-free latte, have the Splenda sweetened iced tea, and
mm,
just swap that out. And I bet you lose 4 to 6 pounds in a month
mm,
because you just drank something that didn't have 400 calories in it. And just little things. And then they look back and they're like, well, that was easy. What's next? Bring it on. Like I can do a walk. I can
mm.
do a salad. My challenge this week is eat 10 to 15 different vegetables every week, every
Hmm.
day.
Oh,
And people are always like, oh my gosh, that's so many. But you
so
buy a frozen bag of berries, there's 5 in there. You have a salad with tomatoes, cucumbers, carrots, lettuce, there's 4 more.
oh,
Before noon, you've already had how many vegetables? But we don't even think about it. So if you just think about adding fruits and vegetables to your
mm,
diet, you're suddenly getting all of this goodness from nature. And you didn't have to do anything really hard, but you feel better. You have more energy, you have
mm.
more, you're just feeling better.
Some helpful tips. So, if people want to find you and follow you or join Spell Fitness, how do they do that, Jessica?
The best thing is probably Instagram. That's where I hang out the most. At spell_fitness.
Okay.
No punctuation except for the underscore. So it's just the word spell_fitness. I have a website, spellfitness.com. I don't do a ton on there. It's more like a landing page, but I'm posting and interacting and responding to messages. I have a Facebook page, Spell Fitness. So those are probably the best places to reach me, to reach out, to kind of get a feel for who I am and what I do and all
Great.
that.
Well, you are a delight. The Lord bless your ministry and your family and all that you're doing with these ladies. It is such a Such a worthy ministry, and I know many women are blessed by it. So I'd encourage the audience, if you need, ladies, if you need a lift, a motivation to develop that discipline, I would say look up Jessica, follow her, join Spell Fitness. And remember, it's about taking that next right step. Don't get stuck in perfection. Take the next step in the right direction and watch that step turn into a next step and a next step. And then you've got discipline. So until we see you next week, have a great week and keep heading in the right direction. Jessica, thank you.
Thank you.